The school called and asked me to come immediately. They wouldn't tell me why. When I arrived, my daughter wasn't in class. She was sitting in the principal's office with 2 police officers. One of them looked at me and said, "Ma'am, your daughter reported something last night," and that's when I realized I was the one she was talking about. The principal closed the door behind me. The click sounded louder than it should have. My daughter wouldn't look at me. Her hands were folded tightly in her lap. One officer spoke gently. "She made a report through the school's anonymous safety system," he said. "Late last night, my throat went dry." "About what?" I asked. He hesitated. "About feeling unsafe at home." The words hit me harder than any accusation. "Unsafe? With me?" I whispered. My daughter's shoulders tensed. The second officer slid a tablet across the desk. There was a screenshot, a message typed in shaky sentences. "I don't think my mom means to scare me. But sometimes I'm afraid." My vision blurred. The principal cleared her throat. "We're required to take every report seriously," she said. The officer nodded. "We need to ask you some questions," he added, "and for now, your daughter will remain here." My heart started racing. "You're taking her," I said. "Temporarily," he replied. "Until we understand what's happening at home." My daughter finally looked up at me. Her eyes were full of something worse than fear, confusion. They asked me about our routines, our mornings, our nights. Did I yell? Did I lock doors? Did I ever leave her alone? Every question felt like a trap. "She has nightmares," I said. "I sit with her until she falls asleep." The officer wrote something down. "And when she doesn't sleep?" he asked. I hesitated. "I get frustrated," I admitted, "but I never hurt her." My daughter shifted in her chair. The principal watched us closely. The officer turned the tablet back toward me. "There's more," he said. "Another message. She talks to herself at night. She says someone is watching." My stomach dropped. "That's not me," I said quickly. "She hears noises." "Old house." The officer nodded, but didn't smile. "When did this start?" he asked. I thought back. "After the break-in," I said softly. The room froze. "What break-in?" the officer asked. 6 months ago," I said. "Someone tried to get in. They never caught him." My daughter's hands began to shake. The officer leaned forward. "She never mentioned that," he said, "because I told her not to." The officer's pen stopped moving. "You didn't tell her?" he asked. "I didn't want to scare her," I said. "She was already anxious." My daughter's voice came out small. "You said it was nothing." I turned to her. "It was nothing," I said quickly. "They never got inside." The officer looked up sharply. "Are you sure?" he asked. I hesitated. "They broke the back window," I admitted. "But I fixed it." Silence settled over the room. The principal folded her hands. "And did you report it?" she asked. "No," I said. "My husband had just left. I didn't want more trouble." The officer exhaled slowly. "Your daughter told us," he said, "that sometimes she hears footsteps." My heart skipped. "At night?" I asked. He nodded. "She says you walk the halls," he continued, "and whisper." My daughter's eyes filled with tears. "You do," she said. "You talk to the walls." I felt the blood drain from my face. "That's not what you think," I said. The officer exchanged a glance with his partner. "When was the last time you slept?" he asked me. I tried to answer. I couldn't remember. "They asked to search the house." I agreed immediately. I had nothing to hide. My daughter stayed at the school while we drove back in silence. The officer walked through the hallway first, slow, careful. He stopped near her bedroom door. "Does this lock from the outside?" he asked. My heart jumped. "No," I said. "It sticks sometimes." He tested it. The handle didn't move. Then he opened the closet. Inside were my daughter's drawings, dozens of them, all taped to the wall. Same picture, over and over, a stick figure girl in a bed, and a tall shadow by the door. My knees weakened. "She never showed me these," I whispered. The officer crouched. "She didn't draw you," he said quietly. He pointed to the shadow. "This isn't a woman." I felt cold spread through my chest. Then the second officer called out from the kitchen. "Ma'am, you should see this, the back window." The one I said I fixed. From the inside, you could see it clearly now. It hadn't been repaired. It had been covered with tape and a curtain. Someone didn't want the damage seen. The officer turned to me. "Are you sure," he asked gently, "that no one ever came inside?" And suddenly, I wasn't sure of anything anymore. They found him in the crawl space, not hiding, living, blankets, empty food cans. A phone charger plugged into an outlet I never used. I screamed before I realized it. The officer pulled me back. "Stay here," he said. The man didn't run. He raised his hand slowly. "I wasn't going to hurt her," he said. I just watched. My daughter's bedroom door creaked open behind me. "No," she whispered. She pointed at him. "That's the shadow." The officers moved fast. Cuffs, orders shouted. He kept talking. "She talked to herself," he said calmly. "She helped me sleep." I felt my legs give out. The officer looked at me. "He's been here for weeks," he said, "since the break-in." I shook my head. "I locked the doors," I whispered. "I checked every night." He nodded. "He used the window you covered." The man turned once as they let him out. "She knew I was there," he said. "She just didn't know what to call me." My daughter started crying then. Not loud, like she'd been holding it in forever. And I realized the truth. She hadn't been afraid of me. She'd been afraid that I couldn't see what she saw. She didn't come home for 3 nights. Child Services said it was procedure, protection. I didn't argue. When she finally returned, she slept with the light on. So did I? The police said he'd been watching other houses too? We weren't special. That somehow made it worse. One night, she came into my room. "Mom, yes? You weren't the scary one," she said. I just didn't know how to explain the other one. I pulled her into my arms. "I'm listening now," I said. "I promise." Every night, before bed, we check the locks together. And every night, I remind myself, sometimes children don't lie, they just don't have the words yet. This is Nightline. The most dangerous things are the ones you convince yourself aren't real.